Hey everyone, how's it going? It's Adrienne here. It is Thursday, May the 21st. Hope you guys are all doing well. I just was watching and participating in the May Day World Meditation, which was an incredible event. And those of you that don't know, there were a whole group of celebrities, meditators, meditation teachers that were leading an online meditation today for health and healing and the evolution of human consciousness on the planet. And unfortunately, they did have, I don't think anything like it has been done before, so they were having some technical difficulties, unfortunately, today. Let me shut my phone off. My apologies. Anyhow, that was a little disappointing, but I mean, the truth of the matter is meditation is available to all of us all of the time. And while it's nice to connect in community, like a world community, and set our intention as a global one to help shift the consciousness on the planet. There's people doing that all the time, every day, every hour of the day. And they always have. It's just who they are. So, I wanted to come on today. I know it's been a bit, but I have been really focusing on developing and producing my new podcast. So I just took my blog, which I publish on my Mind Heart Space webpage, and I turned it into a blog. So I hope you've had a chance to check it out. If not, it's posted on my Facebook page and also on my website under the blogs. The blogs have the link to the podcast on them, so you can just click and it will take you right over to the Mind Heart Space podcast. So I'm in the process of pushing out a lot of different content on different platforms. I just created my new YouTube channel. Thank you. So check it out. There's one video on it so far, but I am in the process of producing more content to make the ideas of how we can function and work to help shift the consciousness on the planet and the evolution of humanity to higher consciousness and upgrade our human awareness so that we can experience life on our own terms, on our terms that is based on love and compassion and inclusivity and play and peace and all those positive qualities that every human being has a right to as just in their existence, just in the nature of who we are as human beings. So the last video I made was the abundance video, and I made it in connection to the first A in the 3-part series or steps to the integration of awareness. So the idea is that we're already whole. but there's parts of our consciousness that we may have not accessed or be conscious of. It remains in our unconscious for many reasons, which is a different video, which I will make. But today I wanted to talk to you about the second A, which is to attune. What does it mean to attune to who you are? Well, in the part 2 of my most recent podcast entitled Origin Stories, or Lies at the Root, could also be called Or the Truth of Who You Are, because it's just the flip side. Everything has a flip side. And so, in our highest, truest self, we are vibrating at the highest level of awareness, because everything is energy. Everything is orchestrated, held in place, including the planets and everything that we see with our eyes, by the magnetic force of Source. This can also be called love, innocence. So in that part 2 of the podcast, we'll be publishing soon, hopefully, tomorrow. I talk about how our natural essence, our essential self, is innocence or love. It's that part of ourselves that we brought into the world before it got written on or tarnished or conditioned. So this is the part underneath all the layers. So, I heard a really good analogy. It's like you have a chair or a chair or a sofa in your room, and you pile all your clothes on it, dirty, clean. And then after a while, you don't even remember what you put on the chair. So you have to pull the layers off until you get to the chair. And you're like, oh yeah, there's my shirt that I was looking for 2 weeks or whatever. But underneath all of the clothing or all the layers is what's really there supporting it, which is the chair in this example, in this analogy. So it's the same thing with ourselves, as we develop and grow, we throw different, garments, different ways of being onto the chair or the seat of being. And then we forget that what we put there, because it's covered up by layers and layers of aspects of ourselves that we had to develop, or that we thought we had to develop to survive in the world the way that it told us that we needed to. So this is the process of the second A, which is aligning. The first A was attuning, which I talked about in the abundance video. And this A is aligning back to that self, that essential self that we were born into this world with. And none of these steps are linear. They're circular or cyclical, because they are intertwined and they are coexistent and they're happening all at once. But I broke it down in steps to help clarify the process of what's happening as we embrace or ascend or remember, who we are as our truest self, our highest self, our highest potential that we can develop an experience on this planet if we are willing to continue to choose to align with the vibration of who we are. So let me give you a practical example. So, there's lots of ways I could communicate this to you. So, one way to think about it is that we are, like, everything's energy. And so, as I go through my day, where I focus my attention goes, as they say, where you focus, energy goes. So if I notice myself focusing on unproductive or unhelpful or unverifiable thoughts, like there's no way I can verify the truth of something. There's no evidence. It's just an opinion or a judgment of like what I like or what I don't like, or my judgment of a person, or my criticisms of others and myself. Like all of that is energy, and it produces a result in my life. And that result is out of alignment, if you will, with the truth of who I am, which is love and innocence and pure, unencumbered awareness expressing itself in the freedom and fullness of what it is. And so when I go through my day and I see myself caught up in news stories or, theories about who's doing what to who, and, and like, I don't want to invest in that. That's not the future that I want to invest in. That's not the reality that I want to experience. So I'm not going to pay with my attention to that. I'm not going to pay attention. I'm going to focus my energy on the most expansive qualities. Because at the end of the day, you're just like, well, how can I verify that? I can verify that by knowing that it's my choice. I get to choose where my awareness goes. I get to choose if I focus on higher or lower density emotions and experiences. And this isn't about spiritually bypassing anything. If anything, it's about facing things head on and directly. So if I have an interaction with someone and they're my mirror and they're reflecting back to me aspects about myself that I've held true because they've been layered up on my chair of clothing, I can go, oh, look at this garment that I've been holding on to, and this person is modeling it for me. I'm going to clean this off my chair, and I'm going to hang it up in the closet, or I'm going to give it to Goodwill, or I'm going to, if it's not serving me, if it's just sitting on the chair, and I don't want to wear it because it doesn't represent who I am as a being, then I'm going to get rid of it. So this is what I mean by aligning with the truth of who I am. And it's a choice, moment to moment, and a lot of times we're unconscious as we go throughout our day. Our attention is easily pulled here and there, and before we know it, our energy is just all over the place, and we are totally not choosing where we put our energy. And so this is the process of rewiring our nervous system, rewiring our brain, and also recalibrating ourselves to the truth of who we know we are and what we want to experience in the world. And that, my friends, is a beautiful thing. It's simple, but not easy, as they say. And it's a daily practice, and it's a choice. And I wish you could just go to the store and buy a box, of your highest potential, and then bring it home, and you're set, But unfortunately, this is not something that we can grasp or get in the outside world, because the outside world is just reflecting what's on the inside. And so this, my friends, requires a turning within and we have to go through it to move it. As I say, we have to feel it to heal it. Because a lot of these things have been kept in the closets of our minds, and they're not serving us. So this is a great time to declutter, to remove, to release, and actually every time's a great time to do this. It's just that perhaps now we have the space, the mind-heart space, to turn within and to access those aspects of our consciousness that we don't or aren't able to usually access because lots of times we're just skirting over the surface of who we think we are. All right, I wanted to keep this short and I wanted to share that with you. And so this is the second A of the 3 parts of integrating awareness. The first part was attunement, and what I talked to today to you about was alignment. And so my intention is to begin a weekly meditation practice series that I will be including on my YouTube channel. I'm saying it now. I'm saying it to you now. So that is my intention. Of course, my life and my growth is unfolding so quickly. And my creative process is just like unfolding at an unprecedented rate that, sometimes it's hard for me to keep up with my intention, or my intention is like developing. So like what I thought would be the right thing actually isn't the right thing, because within 2 or 3 days, it's actually evolving to something bigger or something more powerful. And so I just wanted to share that with you. It's an exciting time, and I wanted to share with you the excitement because there's a lot of people getting hung up in the opposite realm of fear and dread and, concern. And I can't remember. I think it was when I was doing my training in the Science of Mind to Church, which was created by Dr. Ernest Holmes. In that community, they always said, don't be fooled by the facts, because there's a different layer of awareness going on that is the source of the facts. And so when we get stuck in the worlds of appearances, we don't have a lot of choice. So I'm sharing this with you just to encourage you to remember that you are the source of the facts. You are the source of the world that you're creating. And if you don't like what's appearing on the outside, then align with a truer experience of who you are. Clear off your mental and emotional closets and free yourself from those restrictions and burdens, the ones that we even forgot that we had because they've been covered up by so much. So anyhow, I will let you go, and I will let you know when the part 2 of Origin Stories, or Lies at the Root, is published. All right, I hope you're all well and managing to thrive at this time in our human evolution. And I'd love, as always, to hear from you. If you stop by, leave an emoji, leave a comment. If you have any questions or have any suggestions for future topics, I'm always happy to hear from you. All right. And I also created the Abundance Game, which I will include the link above or below. I think it's above, above this video. So you can check it out. And I created the Abundance Game because it's fun, first of all. And number 2, because it helps us attune to the qualities and the values that we say that we deserve and that we desire. All right, I am leaving now. It is good to see you as always. Thank you for joining me. Please remember what a valuable treasure you are, and I'll see you hopefully real soon. Bye for now.